So we're back in with a pretty awesome news update video for Marvels Avengers. Content on the channel, as you've probably noticed for the last month or so, has been pretty light because at the start of the month I actually went away. I had a 3-day holiday, which was pretty awesome, but during that holiday unfortunately I caught COVID. Completely knocked me for 6, and since then, to be honest, my brain still feels completely scrambled. That's why there's not been any long form commentary videos, but we're going to jump in today and we're going to see if we can get a video done and how we actually got on with it. So the news we've got, it's a release date for the War for Wakanda expansion. A lot of people were expecting, myself as well, that it would probably come way towards the end of the month, but it's actually going to come roughly halfway through the month, which is really amazing. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to have a look at the press release that gives some more information. Following on from that, we've actually got some details of the free weekend that's coming up and a pretty awesome XP boost that's coming alongside it. Now, tied in with War for Wakanda, I'm going to go back and talk about some leaks we had a while ago about a potential horde mode and a villain that's coming to it and so on, because I've had a source reach out to me and say that all these leaks are actually genuine and it is a source that I do actually trust. And then to finish up the video and hopefully tie it all together, I'm going to actually discuss whether or not I believe the game is in the right place for a soft relaunch, because that's what War for Wakanda essentially is. But let's jump in and let's have a look at the press release first. So we'll just quickly read through this here. So it states, today Square Enix announced that Marvels Avengers expansion Black Panther War for Wakanda will launch on August the 17th. So that's really pretty great. Again, as mentioned, I think a lot of us were expecting it to be towards the end of the month, so it's really not long to go. It's what I think we're in about 18 days or so. Wow, pretty awesome. So it's a free update, of course, to all owners of the game. In addition to adding Black Panther, the third new playable superhero, the War for Wakanda expansion also brings with it 2 new villains. So we know we're getting Claw, and jump forward about 10 seconds or so if you don't want to hear this, but from leaks we've been told we're getting Crossbones as well, and again, pretty sure that's all going to be genuine. I'll talk about the leaks later on. States next here, a brand new environment to explore, new enemies, the Birin Zana outpost. Looking that up, that's actually the Wakandan city, also known as the Golden City, so I think it's probably the throne room that will be the outpost for it. Hopefully there's different areas of it we could explore. There'll be new solo or multiplayer drop zones, threat sector missions and more, adding the most content to Marvels Avengers since the game's launched. And again, later on I'm going to talk about some of the leaks and more of the content they've maybe not revealed here yet. We have news of a war table, which is awesome because it's been a long time since we last had one. So a Marvels Avengers war table dedicated to the War for Wakanda expansion will premiere on Monday the 16th at 10 AM, and that will be on Twitch, of course. The war table offers an extensive look at new trailers and information and should be considered a must watch for fans interested in learning all there is to know about the War for Wakanda. It then mentions the War for Wakanda expansion adds to a game already packed with content, including 8-hour playable heroes, more than 25 hours of single player campaign content from the core release through to the expansion. And this is important. When a lot of people read a version of this previously, they believed the War for Wakanda expansion would be 25 hours long. That's not the case. What I've been told from people that have actually played it, we're going to get around about 8 hours or so, which is certainly pretty decent considering it's free. And then you've got the new hero, which for me personally means that another 100 hours of content or something along the lines of that. Now, following on anyway, it says there's endless multiplayer action for up to 4 players. In addition, new modes and events have been introduced regularly, and dozens of outfits inspired, blah blah blah. I'm not going to read the rest of that actually, because that is just press blurb there. Now, on the subject of War for Wakanda and what's coming to it, that's given us a slight taste. Let's jump into the previous leaks we had, and as mentioned, I've had someone reach out to me that I do trust that's confirmed these to be genuine. So these leaks originally came from Miller. There was one part of it which was actually out of date, but Miller just said it was potentially the source they used, hadn't updated the information. But the rest of it, from someone I've actually spoken to, looks to all be legit. So we've got the fact that the second villain they mentioned in the press release, it looks like it will be Crossbones, so that makes sense given he is a mercenary and that's who Claw's using to actually attack Wakanda. We've got a horde mode coming in War for Wakanda, which will hopefully add some longevity and be fun to actually stream and show off as well. A new faction joining Shield and Inhumans, so it'll be something to grind. Fingers crossed we'll get a new artifact that allows us to summon the likes of Shuri or Okoye. That would be pretty amazing, to be honest. The Wakandan Mine Raid is not dropping the same day with War for Wakanda, so that's coming at a later date. That's a big huge raid that's going to be a mixture of puzzles and combat, they've told us. New free skins coming with the update. Super Adaptoid and Mega Level Threat, we've went past all that, we know that was all genuine there. New weapon skins with War for Wakanda, that's a bit I'm unsure about, but we'll see what happens with that. New gear sets coming with Wakanda. The story beats of Wakanda leave a particular non-playable character in an interesting position. That can mean anything really. They're discussing updating particular skins like adding hair to MCU Hawkeye. This is getting into speculation now by the looks of it. Black Panther, Heroics, Kimoyo support, Spear Assault and Panther Ultimate. I've heard of a few other people that have actually confirmed this looks to be the case. This will be his Heroics, and then Patrol Mode is coming in July. That's the part that Miller actually got wrong there, but everything else from the people I've spoke to, this looks to all be genuine. Yeah, so Crossbones is the villain and a Horde mode and so on, which would be pretty great. Now, one final thing to look at here, we got an awesome new 4K promo picture, and it actually shows what the new villains will look like. There's a pretty awesome looking image here. You've got Panther with his spear, you've got a Panther alongside him, you've got the Dora Milaje wearing the awesome masks, and then you can see on the left hand side here you've got the little AIM robots, you've got which I assume is one of the Claw mercenaries, and then in the back middle here you've got some kind of larger robot. It's hard to see what it looks like, but it does look pretty nice, looks almost insect looking. And then on the right hand side here we've got another what I presume to be one of Claw's mercenaries, but this one is wielding some kind of big, I don't even know, like a plasma hammer or something like that. So different enemies we're getting, so that is really nice. Now to finish up, something I've been meaning to do for a while but I've really not felt up for it, I'm going to very quickly talk about whether or not I actually believe the game is actually ready for the War for Wakanda update, because again it is a soft relaunch of sorts. We're going to have a lot of old players coming back and a lot of new players coming in, so is the game actually ready for that? So the news that new content is coming to the game, and new content that looks as nice as War for Wakanda actually does, is of course good, but personally I'm pretty concerned about this release because I've already mentioned a few times it's a soft relaunch of the game in sorts, so they've had round about 10 months or so to actually get the game in a good spot. For people that picked it up last September, didn't like it and just put it down, so they've had 10 months to actually get the game in a much better spot for these people coming back. I don't think it's actually there yet at all, unfortunately, and the reason for that is loot is still in a pretty bad place. That a mega level threat loot is absolutely awful in my opinion. There's a couple of perks that are interesting, but overall the loot's absolutely terrible considering it's the hardest content in the game. I've got a whole 15-minute video coming out all about that where I'll break it down a lot more. We don't have a proper endgame loop in place for people that actually come back. Doing that mega level threat once a week for garbage loot isn't an endgame loop at all. We don't really have any further progress that's been made on the cosmetic rework or scalable difficulty, and we're missing the patrol mode, something that would have been good to get people in and just playing with their friends. That of course was delayed to after War for Wakanda, so I'm not going to talk about it too much because the video is more about the release. I don't want to kind of turn a positive video into a negative one, but that's my thoughts on whether or not the game is actually ready for the soft relaunch that War for Wakanda will bring. Do let me know what you think about all this in the comments below, and thanks for tuning in, stay safe, and I'll see you all again soon.